stretching is really important. And over the next few weeks, as we train up for our big ride, we're going to be going over all sorts of fantastic stretches for cyclists to incorporate into your weekly routine. So you don't have to get up every morning and ride. You can do a morning
And if there's one exercise, Aaron, that you'd suggest I do after a ride or before a ride, what would that be?
Scratch your calves.
Come on, put your yoga book down. Alrighty.
This one's for Troy. So we're going to work on the hip flexors. We want to make sure that everything loosens up through the iliacus and through the rectus femoris, coming down the femurs there. And you're just going to want to take a step forward.
Rectus femoris.
Into a lunge.
Yep.
And basically just bring it down and really focus on keeping the hips nice and level, looking straight ahead, working on your balance. And if you really want to level it out, you can actually drop that toe back, and that'll engage, again, sort of muscles lower down the leg. And then kind of lean back into it. Try to keep your heel planted on the right foot, keep the weight over that knee, and really stretch. And take the time. Don't do it quickly. Take your time. And you'll find that you can go back further, you can drop it further. You really want to open it up. And then same thing on the other side, so you can step back into it. Start out with the toe behind you. Keep everything nice and straight. Looking forward, you can put your hands in the air. That makes it a little more difficult. Fingers up. Look, make sure you're nice and straight. Come down into it. Just stay balanced. And really feel it through your breathe.
So what's this exercise how's it gonna affect me on the bike? Why is it so important?
Through the bottom of the pedal stroke, most of us have our saddles probably adjusted fairly towards the high range, and what we find is that as you come to the bottom of the pedal stroke, the tightness through the hip flexors will actually pull the hip, the lower back down towards the pedal slightly, depending on how much heel drop you've got. So under massive load, you'll probably find it happens more. Pedaling gently around the block, probably find it doesn't happen that much. So that's really the big one, is just that through the bottom of the pedal stroke, there's just too much extension going on, and the hip flexor range of motion is sort of limited to now a movement that comes through the pelvis itself, and you'll find sort of a little twist in the lower spine and things like that. So it's a really big deal, and it's a big part of being comfortable on the bike. So, and if your hip flexors feel good, then they'll be able to lift up a little bit better through the back of the pedal stroke, lighten up the feet, probably get a little more spin going on, create a little bit more power for going forward.
So you become more efficient.
Way more efficient.
And happier.
More comfortable.
Comfortable.
Too. Yeah, absolutely. And another thing, don't sit down at your desk. If you sit like this all day, you're going to get really tight, loose, short hip flexors like this. So, good example here. Nice flat plinth. Hands at 90. I do all my typing up here. So if you're going to receive an email, it will be from standing position. So, big one. Don't sit down at your desk. Lift your desk.
Alrighty. Thanks, Aaron.